we begin with the breaking news that we had to end the post-game show yesterday with an icon of professional wrestling, really an American pop culture icon, a global icon in Hulk Hogan and his passing. I found this one tricky to eulogize, and we talked through that a little bit yesterday, and I have some remorse. I know I mentioned that you're not your worst moment, but let's get into why this one's a little complicated. Zaz.
I don't think it's complicated.
You don't think it's complicated?
No, like I think it's all out there. We know. I don't think it's tricky to understand how to handle Hulk Hogan's death. We know that there is an incredible, there is good where he brought us a lot of joy if you're a child of the 80s like myself, and then it's okay. He was also really to black people, the last 15 years. Like, this is not complicated.
Not
what's
just the last
complicated?
15 years would be my guess.
15 years?
No, but that we heard about.
That we heard about.
Yeah, that we heard about.
Okay, so he had the N-word controversy, and look, this was not this was super racist. He was taped in his home, something to the effect of I would not let Brooke date a racial slur. Now, he could have bounced back from that, and I think he largely did. Look, this is a guy that gave the keynote speech, one of the keynote speeches at the RNC. He's a huge brand, and he's made several appearances since his controversy. But a lot of what followed him after that, because he could apologize, have a sincere apology, and slowly work his way back into the good graces of people. There was an incident in which Vince McMahon tried to get him back in the locker room's good graces. He addressed the locker room, and any black superstar that was in that locker room came away more upset with Hulk Hogan because
Hulk Hogan.
Because the rumors were that the lesson that he kind of learned from that whole controversy is, be careful around phones and cameras, guys. that was really
it is good advice.
The New Day came away really insulted by him. Shelton Benjamin, who was in that locker room at the same time, said he was completely done with him. Now, Hulk Hogan made several appearances on WWE. Vince McMahon was smart about putting him in good spots. The last time we saw Hulk Hogan, and I think part of what happened so many years removed from that controversy was he never really had a public reckoning. He never had the good apology. He never really publicly capitulated when it's a pretty easy one to do. And he finally had his reckoning in Los Angeles, and people were super vocal. And it is sad that the biggest superstar in the history of the business, his final act in front of a packed house, was getting booed out of the building. But I guess the saddest part is he totally deserved it.
This is the part that's frustrating if you grew up a huge fan of Hulk Hogan like myself. He was a really big deal to me as a kid of the 80s, all right? Where, okay, so you have someone who you really, really liked or you really, really loved, and then you find out, wow, they did or they said something. Sometimes it's unforgivable, thing that they do, like did you kill someone, did you rape someone, it's unforgivable. There's no coming back
the
from
OJ scenario.
Correct.
Although I don't know, he kind of had a little comeback, right? People did. I miss the Twitter videos.
Who, Ray Lewis or OJ Simpson?
That's a good one.
But the worst part about it is what he said is forgivable, and he chose not to go down that path.
Yep.
Like, he chose to never have a moment. Well, but he can get in front and say, wow,
it is forgivable
for most people.
I understand.
He can make an effort to change.
Yeah.
He could say, it's a terrible line of thinking. I need to be better as a person. I'm going to make an effort to change. Like, it is forgivable 100%. If he wants to be forgiven.
The Myers-Leonard path.
But right. No, but that's true.
That's a good one. Kyle Larson.
I'm being genuine when I say that.
Kyle Larson is my favorite NASCAR driver. He became my favorite NASCAR driver, and then I found out about an N-word controversy that he had on a stream during COVID. And I found out he served a suspension. He was super apologetic. He started a foundation. He did good work with it. He was really sorry. He's moved on from it.
It can be forgivable if you make an effort. And he chose
zero effort.
He was like, I don't really need to be forgiven for it.
Which means
he sucks.
Yep. As a person, no doubt. But let's talk about the character, the immortal Hulk Hogan, which meant something to people.
Well, you kind of knew from the very beginning when he was, I am a real American. I used to have issues with that. I was like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? I kind of knew as like a 10-year-old.
Fighting for the rights of white men.
Rick Derringer also passed away a couple months ago, too, the guy that made that iconic song, which was actually not made for Hulk Hogan. It was made for a tag team that Barry Windham was in. True story. But Hulk Hogan, complicated legacy, no doubt, but pretty irrefutable. The biggest star in the history of wrestling,
Yes.
right? Like, we'll concede that. You could hate Hulk Hogan up and down. You could maybe venture and posit like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't think wrestling was ever bigger in terms of pop culture, like everybody in school talking about it. But I mean, the '80s.
Oh, he was the first one, like WWF at the time, that was ushering itself or crossing over into the mainstream. WrestleMania 1, of course, Rock and Wrestling. You had the collaboration with MTV. Hulk Hogan was appearing on the late-night talk shows, okay? We all remember him choking out Richard Belzer.
That's right. That
which
was
led to a major lawsuit.
crazy.
All right. Like Hulk and
Thunder Lips.
Hulk Hogan was in movies, Rocky 3, No Holds Barred, a truly awful movie.
The Nanny.
And Suburban Commando.
Suburban Commando.
But and I don't know that like wrestling may not be what it is today if not for Hulk Hogan.
I don't think Hulk Hogan survives today if he's in his prime today, strictly because Mike Ryan would point out his hair loss.
Damn
Yeah.
it was Mr. Nanny, not the nanny. Sorry.
Also, my
Fran
arms,
Dresser's a
can
wrestler.
you get the camera back on me, please? My arms are so shiny, it's crazy.
got them shiny
and I'm like
arms.
sliding all over the table here. I'm not complaining. I enjoy it.
Playing hockey with your elbows.
Just make sure you see it.
That's how you're paying tribute to Hulk Hogan.
Yes.
You're-
But like what?
you're raising up.
But what? So again, what is complicated about the way to talk? I don't think it's complicated.
Well, I think if you're too, he was awesome. And I think if you go too far of just wanting to celebrate, I'm not saying we're doing a good job
Hang
of
on,
saying
though.
both sides.
Can we really, like, what Zaslow said, that he is really to black people and never apologized.
Let's have Roy,
Let's not
wait.
put that to the side and then talk about the good things.
I don't
about
think
it.
anyone's putting that
like
to the
paints
side.
exactly.
I don't
who
think
he is.
anyone's talking
I
about
don't
the
think
good
anyone's
things
doing
about
that.
him.
Okay.
I think there's plenty of good things to talk about. The characters he portrayed. This is like
It could be both.
It could be like he did bring a lot of smiles. He entertained several folks. I think every child has good memories of Hulk Hogan. Go ahead, Roy.
It's not complicated when you separate the art from the artist.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not
pretty easy.
complicated.
Yeah,
But talking about the person is also easy. He's a racist, so go ahead. Bye. See you later.
Yeah, yeah, and again, I think the biggest issue that most people had from him, we identified the locker room incident where everybody left more mad with him.
It's really crazy. Like, why couldn't he just apologize?
He never
Because he
gave,
sucked.
He sucked
Like,
as a
even if
person.
He was a bad guy.
Even if he
you
didn't
know?
mean it, why can't he just? Why couldn't he apologize?
It's weird, very weird.
It's weird.
But there are a couple of reasons why I don't know if Hulk Hogan could make it today. The hairline, as you identified, is one. One of the best promos of all guys of all time, if not the, in terms of quotable, iconic, getting able to move units. And
there was
get you to go to a
no
town.
there was no wrestler, and there never will be a professional wrestler who connected and understood the pro wrestling audience.
Yep.
The way he did.
That is great. That is right on the money. I think maybe The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin have an argument there, but I think it's clear in a way Hulk Hogan. But the main reason why I don't think Hulk Hogan would make it today is I put together a top 5 list. I put together a couple top 5 lists, but I put together a top 5 list of his best matches of all time.
That's tough, man. You can get 3 easily. I don't know how you get to 5, man.
It was tough. As tough as it was, I do have an OLI. So here are the top 5 Hulk Hogan professional wrestling matches. OLI, low-key one of my favorite matches of all time because of the selling from Shawn Michaels. SummerSlam 2005, Shawn Michaels versus Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan famously did not want to do jobs for anybody. He did not want to lose in the ring. And the plan was for Shawn to get over on one, for it to be a trilogy, and Hulk Hogan ultimately to go over. Hulk Hogan didn't want to give Shawn one of them. So after months of frustration trying to book this match and get some offense in, Shawn Michaels just takes a huge dump on the entire thing and oversells the entire match.
Like completely ridiculous.
Yeah,
the
gets
whole
punched in the
match.
face and does like 3 back
Like
rolls.
Ric Flair style?
Yeah, no,
Like stand up.
No.
So
Fall down.
watch
No,
clips.
it wasn't that. It
Watch
wasn't that.
clips.
I
of
do want to. I'm
2005.
intrigued by it now.
Shawn Michaels just rebels against the entire construct and decides, you know what? Screw you. I'm going to oversell and make this a circus.
Like, Hogan must have just been mother effing him the whole match, right? Like, what are you? You're making me look like an idiot.
Hogan is confused in the match. You can see it
Has
on
to
his
be.
face at Shawn Michaels selling. Shawn Michaels is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and that match really sticks out. All right, number 5, perhaps not the greatest in-ring competition, no doubt, not the most entertaining match, but certainly one of the most important matches in pro wrestling history. WrestleMania 3 against Andre the Giant is number 5.
I mean,
Because of one move.
that's where I became a fan, a lifelong fan of pro wrestling. I was 6 years old. It's the most important moment. It's a terrible match, all right? It really is. Like, the fact that it's number 5 on your best Hogan matches shows you it's a terrible match. But it's the most important match, and it's the biggest moment in the history of pro wrestling. Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre, 90,000 plus Pontiac Silverdome. I was 6 years old. I couldn't wait. Like, I see these pictures, like these promos for Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. I don't know what this, like, I'm 6 years old. I don't know what this is, this pro wrestling, but this is for me. Like, I like this.
In terms of sports moments that change you, it's that and then the Kachuk trade? Or what do we...
Yeah, and then probably
LeBron coming, maybe?
Shaq arriving.
Okay.
I mean, he came in on the big diesel truck. He had the water gun.
The body slam on Andre the Giant, and it was reputed he'd never been body slammed, he'd never been beaten. That was all Vince
Neither
McMahon.
true. Neither true.
No, he'd been body slammed and beaten several times over.
I mean, it's a true passing of the torch. I mean, Andre the Giant putting over Hulk Hogan.
No, it was great. It was great booking. It was a great build, and people left there happy. And it's basically a one-move match, but it's an iconic match for several. It really got wrestling into another stratosphere and got it to where it is today. Probably, I don't know if that match doesn't deliver and people don't leave that building happy. I don't know where wrestling is today. So let's go to number 4. This one's actually a fun match and a pretty good real-life rivalry because they had sued each other. He had left WWF. They had their personal beef. So the build to this was fun, and the payoff was good, too. A good street fight. WrestleMania 19 against Vince McMahon. Safeco Field. They put their bodies on the line. They tapped into some extreme rules. It was fun.
Match against the chairman's in your top 5 of all time.
It shows you how bad this dude was in the ring. He was not a good wrestler.
I told you, getting to 5 is tough with him.
Yeah. Number 3, now we get into some genuinely good matches, good storytelling in the ring. And this was, in terms of build, my favorite Hulk Hogan build for a payoff. And there's something on this list. Like, Hulk Hogan is a big game player because they're all WrestleMania matches from here on out. There was one OLI on SummerSlam, but the rest of the list, all WrestleMania matches. WrestleMania 5, Mega Powers Collide, Macho Man Randy Savage versus Hulk
lust
Hogan.
in his eyes.
Oh, Elizabeth.
Fighting over Miss Elizabeth.
Lust.
Macho Man Randy Savage, one of the few people that can match Hulk Hogan's crazy on the mic. Performance enhancers, no doubt, in several respects. Macho Man was a beloved babyface, formed the Mega Powers. They break up, Lust in Your Eyes over Miss Elizabeth.
A year-long storyline, a full year. It ended up being more than a year, but up to that point, a year-long storyline. It's a truly great match. Macho was just so good. It's a great match.
Classic build. Number 2, this might actually be their 2 of my first memories. My parents divorced when I was 2. I have a memory of my dad living in the house and me sitting behind his rocking chair. My second memory is looking at a full-page ad for WrestleMania 6, Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior in Toronto. This match delivered, and those are 2 dudes that cannot work.
Champion versus champion. Title for title. It's the ultimate challenge. It's WrestleMania.
Who's that?
That was Vince McMahon.
Okay.
Another great person.
But Jack,
Man, I thought I grew up a wrestling fan, and then I hear you two talk about it. I'm like, I was behind.
Some real scumbags in wrestling, I think, is what we're finding out here.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
What?
What
No
happened with
way.
the rocking chair?
It's my memory. I have a memory of my dad sipping out of a coffee mug that my Abuela Juana still has somewhere that says Michael. He was reading the newspaper, and
You were how old?
I had to have been 2 because my parents divorced when I was 2. I had to have been.
You
That's
have a
my-
memory from 2 years
So
old?
do I.
What?
Yep, I tell people this all the time. And
2?
that's why I was curious with Mike, because there's just one image of me sitting on like a rolled up rug.
If it was a rocking chair, I'd be like, that's weird. You both have rocking chair things.
It was me sitting on a rolled up rug, and the room was empty, and to my left was an entire mirrored wall. So I saw like the picture of myself on that thing, and to my right was a thing of windows. And I like remember, I don't know, some point in my childhood, and or maybe adolescence, I asked my mom about that image, and she was like, "Yeah, that sounds like the first house when we moved in here, when we moved in South Florida after you were born."
Wow.
All right, I want everybody's first memory. All right, so get to work on that. We'll get to everybody's first memory in a little bit. And then number one, this one is obvious. This one is easy. Ironically enough, the top two matches in Hulk Hogan's career both happened at a WrestleMania in Toronto. WrestleMania 18, Icon versus Legend, The Rock versus Hulk Hogan. And this is a legit incredible match. Some good stuff in the ring. The Rock kind of carries them a little bit, but the storytelling and the way that the crowd, it was a weird double turn. The Rock came in as a babyface. Hogan came back to the WWF as several years removed, comes back as Hollywood Hogan. The NWO is pretty much DOA, and the Toronto crowd just decided, screw your plans. We have an affinity for Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, and we're going to get behind him. And the crowd starts cheering for Hulk Hogan in the match. It's electric. They both Ultimate Showmen know how to read the crowd. The face-off in the middle of the ring as everyone in Skydome is going bonkers. If you watch one Hulk Hogan match, it has to be this one.
It's one of the great moments in the history of pro wrestling. It's one of the great crowds in the history of pro wrestling. I remember watching it. I think I was 21 years old, WrestleMania 18. I remember watching it, and all right, the match is starting, and this is Hollywood Hulk Hogan. He's a real piece in the ring and outside the ring. I mean, he drove a semi-truck into The Rock's car the week before. He literally tried to kill Rock. So obviously, I'm rooting for The Rock, and you would think that that's going to be the case. And then they lock up to start the match, and Hogan throws Rock into the turnbuckle, and he does his, not Hollywood Hogan poses, he does his Hulk Hogan poses. And Hulk Hogan had not been in a WWE ring in like 8 years, and this is Skydome in Toronto, and he's doing the Hulk poses, and the crowd is going bananas. Yep. And I'm watching, I'm like, whoa, I'm cheering for Hulk Hogan now. That's Hulk Hogan. That's not Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And the way the story goes, like, they weren't expecting that to be the case. And Hulk actually says to Rock in the middle, early on in the match, when they see the crowd reaction, Hulk says, "Do you want me to fix this?" And Rock says yes. And Hogan kind of takes control of the match, and they kind of flip sides. One of them is going to be the baby face, and the other one's going to be the heel. And
Jonathan Zaslow, I have never been more impressed by you. I don't know if it's how you did your hair this morning, but there's something about you I'm very attracted to right now. You have born for this exact segment right
This
here.
guy made fun of me earlier in the week for going to a Backstreet Boys concert, and he's sitting here reciting every storyline in the history of wrestling.
This is great theater.
Do you watch them over and over again, or is this
How
just
do you
like
remember
you remember
every
it from the
storyline?
moment?
This is the only Hulk Hogan match that I think you can rewatch.
Okay.
I've seen this one many times, and I've seen one WrestleMania 6 against Warrior many times as well. Top two.
Many times.
Yeah.
Like you sit down and rewatch the whole WrestleMania, you're just like, you know what, I want to
No, just the match.
Hulk and Warrior today.
No, not the whole thing. Not the whole thing.
That WrestleMania is really funny because there were matches that had to follow that, and the crowd was dead.
Yeah.
Absolutely dead. Because
it's a tremendous. If
it
you're a
brought the house
fan,
down.
it's such a great experience, that match.
It's honestly one of the top 10 matches of all time. It's like the one really, really good match from a technical and storytelling and just a crowd. The crowd's the star.
Yeah, no, Mike,
of
can
the
you
show.
sit this one out? I want more Zaz.
How is that not the main event?
Because it didn't have a title.
Didn't have a title.
And back then it was like, oh, well, WrestleMania, the world title has to be the main event. It was a mistake.
No one knew that the crowd was going to react to that the way that they did. And it is what is most remembered. And it was a pretty good WrestleMania, mostly because of that match. But that match really, really sticks.
WrestleMania 6?
No, WrestleMania 6.
Look,
was
Israel's
Ultimate Warrior.
smitten with me right now. Look, I mean, I'm very confident. I gotta tell you.
I got 2 words for you, Zaz. Go on.
Yesterday was a weird day for me, right? Because I'm doing ESPN radio yesterday, and the news of Hogan's passing breaks like 5 minutes before we're going on the air. And I'm probably, to my horn, but I'm probably the guy that you want on ESPN radio when Hulk Hogan passes away. So that was a great coincidence.
I've waited my whole life for this moment.
And that's right. And for, if you would have told 9-year-old Jonathan Zaslow you're going to be the one who breaks the news about Hulk Hogan on ESPN. Like, that's crazy.
Wow, that is wild.
That's crazy. So I was sad yesterday because if you're a child of the 80s, and this is going to happen as we get older, you know, our childhood heroes are going to pass away. And this was kind of like the first one of those for me. And so it's kind of a weird experience.
Yeah, Zaz thinks you're a liar.
As someone
Zaz
else
likes
said,
Hulk Hogan.
that
Yeah, he is a notable fan of racists.
Yeah.
that's unfair.
He did say, not a big deal.
Totally fair.
I did not say
You
not
did
a big
not
deal.
say it.
How dare you?
How long did it take you on ESPN radio to get to that part?
The racism?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, that's why I said I don't think it's complicated to discuss this. Like, I got to it right away.
Okay, good.
You know,
I think that's important, though. I just think if you do 10 minutes before you get to it, I do think it's a little.
No.
Can I buck up against, like, it's not complicated when, like, inside of your first 3 sentences, you're talking about how the dude said an N-word and never
Right.
really gave a formal apology? I think that's a tricky one.
Right,
No,
Zaz, that's the part that's a little weird because you're just like, this is so simple. Why is anybody? It's like he did some terrible things.
I
and
think-
didn't
No,
apologize.
but
Seems easy to me.
But why? Yeah, why is that complicated? Like,
Well, it depends. Did you announce it this way? Noted racist Hulk Hogan dies at age something something?
I think the question is, the debate is, how much do you want to praise a guy that is that?
That's a tricky part. That's exactly the thing.
Right, but
Chris
he's
Cody.
but that's what he's saying. That's not complicated, and that
I
is
think
complicated.
you do both. I don't think it's hard. Like you could talk about, you know, the joy that this person brought you as a child, and then it's also very okay to then talk about why black people especially did not like this man for the last 15, 20 years and how it is that he could have just showed a little bit of remorse somewhere, and he never did, and as a result, he got booed out the building earlier this year, and then tried to blame it on, he went on the McAfee show like a few weeks later and then tried to, it's very political. No, it's not. Like, there are other pro wrestlers who are right-wing, who support Donald Trump, and they don't get booed out the building when they appear. Maybe that had something to do with it, but it's because of things that you've said in the past, and you chose not to acknowledge it.
The Undertaker was on
Yeah.
that very same card, came out to a Kid Rock song.
Yeah.
The guy wears 9-line shirts.
Undertaker
Like,
loves Trump.
loves him, and he got a huge ovation there. And I think really the most frustrating, sad part, and the one that is probably most damning on his character, is that there was a large part of that wrestling audience that was ready to forgive him. You listen to people that were in that locker room, particularly the black wrestlers. They were there. They were going to hear him out. Now, Vince McMahon told him to be there, but he did so poorly that they doubled down, and they were like, to hell with this guy.
Listen, brothers.
Listen, brother. Brother's right there for you.